soon as you turn 16, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you rock this every time you come to LA. Yeah, this gonna be yours. So, LA, it's a little dusty, but you know, we'll get the front shot.
Man.
Minute.
Woo. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna be driving this next year.
Yeah, when you get 16, you come down there, you gotta, you know, wear your seat.
I mean, I'm 15. You could ride in the passenger seat. I got my permit. Now that, not yet.
No.
16.
Not ready. Slow down. Let's slow down, Josh.
Okay.
Let's slow down. Okay.
One step at a time.
But yeah, the keys is yours. When you get 16, you're good to go.
I'm good to go.
Yeah.
All right.
And then when you get 18, you get the house. You get the mansion.
I get the mansion?
Yeah.
So where are we off to now?
Where would you like to go?
I mean, wherever you want to go. Where are we going?
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like, you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. You know, I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
We're going crazy.
Crazy.
What's up, man? You good?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, young brother, everything's good?
Everything's
Selling
great.
out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh?
No,
you ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you tried to get in contact with me, you know, through all my, partners and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But you never really got my number, so.
Correct.
My
Okay.
number?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you my number.
Yeah.
Moved to New York City. And I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you
New
over
York
to something
City.
called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's what it
Camp.
was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In
to
the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and like nonstop, right?
No, not really.
Come on.
But hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place. And I didn't necessarily understand it.
You mentioned L.A. Reid sent you to New York and you live with P. Diddy. They call it Flavor Camp.
Flavor Camp, yeah.
So what was that experience like and how did that help Usher's career?
I don't think I would be the artist that I am today without the experiences that I had in New York City. One, just being in a new place where I would have to adjust, right? I didn't have the comfort of home. I'm in New York City and they was, done and sunning me to death, bro. And I was like, shout it, I don't know what you talking about. You know what I'm saying? And we finna go over here, you know what I'm saying? And they was like laughing at me because I was Southern and they were like New York, but they was like took me and they took me under their wing, you know what I'm saying? And looked at me like the little bruh.
Right.
I think back to, the earlier times of being there when Bad Boy was formed.
Mm-hmm.
I learned something about business. I learned something about artist development in a different way. I learned something about culture. So having the ability to be around all these different cultures of people, it just helped me understand the world that I lived in. I wasn't isolated and felt like I needed to be protected. I wasn't. I was like, yo, we're gonna show you the real ropes. We show you what the world really looks like and give you a front seat.
Usher, I'm tired of Usher.
Oh, okay.
Goofy bitch.
Oh.
Got your asshole ripped open and the only thing it inspired was loyalty. They ripped your ass open. Gene didn't say it. He said, check the records at the hospital. I'm saying it. You got your ripped open. Then you take Justin Bieber from Lily White, Canada, and take him to the flavor of Fuck Off, the kiddie edition. Get his ripped open. Now everything's coming out, and the first thing you do is run the Bali with another kiddie who works with the man, L.A. Reid, that sent you to the Diddy flavor freak off. Just like it wasn't seminal fluid that Justin Bieber was wiping away from his mouth when he brought his face up from Odell Beckham's groin in a club with Trey Songz on the lookout.
The images are there.
Diddy 5. Hashtag no Diddy.
OMG, have you seen the latest? There is a leaked video floating around the internet and everyone is discussing it. It's all about Usher and Justin Bieber, starting with their early days. For a long time, there have been rumors that Diddy was harsh on the young stars with whom he worked, and this footage may finally put an end to those rumors. What exactly did he make them do? Everyone is dying to know. Okay, get ready for this juicy part. So everyone's been talking about Diddy and how he has influence in the music industry. He is famous for discovering talents such as Usher, but not all of his stories are positive. There's a sense that he wasn't always looking out for Usher as he should have been. And get this, there are some rumors that he was a little too pushy with Justin Bieber when he was a teenager. Everyone is whispering about it. Okay, here's what everyone's talking about. Diddy and Bieber were practically inseparable for about 2 days when Bieber was only 15. There's even a video circulating of Diddy giving Bieber a Lamborghini and talking about him driving it when he turned 16.
So, as soon as you turn 16, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you rock this every time. I'm like, yeah, this will be yours. So, every time you it's a little dusty, but you know, one shot.
Man. Woo. Okay.
Okay.
Alright, so I'm gonna be driving this next year.
Yeah, when you get 16, Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like, you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. You know, I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
That has everyone scratching their heads. Some people believe Diddy dragged Bieber into some adult drama far too soon. And let's be honest, stars like Bieber require solid guidance and should not be thrown into the deep end before they're ready. However, that is not the only topic of conversation about Diddy. There are also several allegations and other messy dramas swirling around. It's difficult to tell what's true, but with former co-workers and insiders questioning Diddy's moves and even the reasons behind them, it's hard to ignore. While some of it should be taken with a grain of salt, it's fascinating how people are linking Diddy's influence to the problems that Usher and Bieber have faced. It appears that there were some negative vibes from Usher's early days with Diddy, particularly given all of Usher's legal battles. And Bieber, he's been open about his own struggles with addiction and legal issues.
There was a time where I was sipping lean, I was popping pills, I was doing Molly, you know, shrooms, everything.
And guess what? Some speculate that Diddy may have played a role in those issues. Moving back in on Usher, he has been in the spotlight since he was a child. Back in 2016, he told Howard Stern that hanging out with Puff Daddy at the age of 14 was his real crash course in fame. Usher told stories from what they called Puffy Flavor Camp. Imagine this, young Usher impresses LA Reid with his music, and the next thing you know, he's jetting off to New York to live the high life with Puffy at the peak of Bad Boy Records.
Moved to New York City. And I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp?
Yeah, that's what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
in the 90s. Do you understand what that's like?
Seriously, it was an introduction course in celebrity for him. It's no surprise that big names like Jay-Z and Diddy are under investigation for their past actions. When you've been at the top for as long as they have, controversy is almost certain. With all of the talk, it's no surprise that Diddy has had some recent legal issues. And just when you think you've heard everything, something new emerges in the headlines. Usher recently made headlines again after making some old comments about his teen years spent hanging out at Diddy's place. All of this speculation resurfaced after federal agents raided Diddy's homes in Los Angeles and Miami as part of ongoing investigations. While Diddy has not been charged and is upset about the raids, which he describes as excessive, people can't stop talking about them. Flashback to 2016. Usher opened up on the Howard Stern show about his time living with Diddy in the 1990s, and the interview has resurfaced on social media. Picture this, Usher, age 14 or 15 during the chaos at Diddy's house. I saw a few things. It was crazy, Usher explained. Stern's co-host Robin Quivers pushed a little and asked if any women had made advances on him. Usher kept it cool, implying curious things were going on, but insisting he was there primarily to focus on his music. At the time, Usher was the only child among Diddy's rising stars, which makes you think.
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I mean, but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle,
right?
And I saw it, and it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place, and I didn't necessarily understand it.
In 1994, a fresh-faced Usher made the big move to New York at the age of 15, just as Diddy turned 25. So how did Usher end up crashing at Diddy's place? Here's the scoop. At the age of 13, Usher impressed LaFace Records co-founder Antonio L.A. Reid, who signed him. But marketing a young talent like Usher was no easy task, so Reid created a plan. Send him to Diddy to add a little edge to his image. Reid's request to Diddy was fairly straightforward. Can you give him some of your flavor? He wanted Usher to move away from the typical pretty songs that LaFace was known for. It was a risky move to send young Usher into the heart of Party Central with Diddy, but it proved to be a wise decision. Usher had the opportunity to meet legends such as Notorious B.I.G. and Mary J. Blige, giving him first-hand knowledge of what it was like to be a celebrity. But Diddy was not only a party host, he was also a mentor. He did more than just introduce Usher to the high life. He also made sure the young star stayed on track with his education by funding a tutor and even giving Usher an allowance to keep him out of trouble. Diddy helped launch Usher's career, even producing his debut album in 1994.
You mentioned L.A. Reid sent you to New York and you live with P. Diddy. They call it Flavor Camp.
Flavor Camp, yeah.
So what was that experience like and how did that help Usher's career?
I don't think I would be the artist that I am today without the experiences that I had in New York City. One, just being in a new place where I would have to adjust, right? I didn't have the comfort of home. I'm in New York City and they was, done and sunning me to death, bro. And I was like, shout it, I don't know what you talking about. You know what I'm saying? We finna go over here, you know what I'm saying? And they was like laughing at me because I was Southern and they were like New York, but they was like took me and they took me under their wing, you know what I'm saying? And looked at me like the little bruh. Right. I think back to, the earlier times of being there when Bad Boy was formed.
Although it wasn't a hit right away, it paved the way for Usher's future success. And when Usher's voice changed, threatening his position at LaFace, Diddy persuaded Reid to keep him on board. Even though Diddy did not produce Usher's breakout second album, My Way, Usher has always considered him a big brother figure. However, when Howard Stern asked if Usher would let his own children stay at Diddy's, Usher responded with a firm, hell no. This firm rejection raises eyebrows, especially given the recent troubling allegations against Diddy.
Life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
The accusations raised by individuals such as Cassie and Little Rod paint a picture of a non-child-friendly lifestyle. Cassie's lawsuit, for example, contains serious allegations of physical harm and pressure into compromising situations. Her experiences point to a pattern of manipulation and control that casts doubt on the type of environment Diddy might create around him. Then there's Lil Rod, whose allegations of manipulation and harm while working on the Love album highlight the dangers of being involved with Diddy's inner circle. Given the circumstances, it's understandable that Usher, despite his formative and positive experiences with Diddy as a young artist, would be hesitant to expose his children to such an environment. Usher's experiences, while beneficial in some ways, took place when the darker sides of the music industry were not as openly investigated as they are now. His cautious approach to protecting his children is likely due to a greater understanding of the complexities and challenges that come with growing up in the spotlight, a wisdom that has been strengthened by the recent troubling allegations against Diddy. This represents a shift toward more conscious parenting in the entertainment industry, with the goal of protecting children from potentially dangerous situations. Both Usher and Justin Bieber have had the unique experience of being pushed into fame under Diddy's guidance at a young age, perhaps too young to fully comprehend the complex workings of the entertainment industry. Usher was introduced to the high-energy lifestyle at Diddy's Puffy Flavor Camp as a teenager, giving him an early glimpse into both the attraction and dangers of fame, which he navigated with a mix of awe and caution. Justin Bieber, who was mentored by Usher and met Diddy during his early years, found himself thrown into the spotlight. He was exposed to extravagant luxuries and experiences that most teenagers could not fathom. This parallel in their journeys highlights the difficulties that young stars face when introduced to adult worlds too soon, often shaped by influential figures such as Diddy before they are fully prepared to deal with the consequences. Those uncomfortable clips of Diddy chatting with a young Justin Bieber have resurfaced, just as they did with Usher, especially after federal raids on Diddy's homes in Miami and Los Angeles. In these videos, you can see a nervous Bieber, who was about 16 at the time, being grilled by Diddy about why he has been keeping his distance. Homeland Security conducted these raids as part of a massive investigation.
Right, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you tried to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But you never really got my number, so.
Correct. Okay.
My number?
Yeah.
Try my number.
Yeah.
Diddy's legal team has slammed the raids, claiming that authorities used excessive force. Despite the raids, Diddy was not detained and even spoke with the authorities. He and his family members were not arrested, and they are free to travel, according to his lawyer. Meanwhile, Diddy finds himself in the middle of a storm. Lil Rod's lawsuit has sparked the internet with stories about private jets and wild parties. And right in the middle of it all, we have Diddy. While the feds continue their investigation, let's shine some light on Rodney Jones, also known as Lil Rod, a Grammy-nominated producer from Chicago. He's really upping the stakes on Diddy. After spending a year working on Diddy's Love album, Lil Rod claims he was cheated on cash, publishing shares, and royalties.
I took a year off straight working on this album. That album is the Love album, Off the Grid by Diddy. And it's Grammy nominated right now as we speak. I should be celebrating, but the truth is I'm not. Taking this album on has required so much time, you know, months and at a time, 16 hours to 24 hours a day. Sometimes, you know, Diddy will request certain works to be done and tell us don't go to sleep until it's done. And the truth is, we'll be up for days trying to accomplish that. I've tried to get my business straight with them on this album, but the truth is they're not playing fair. They hit me on below the belt on so many situations. Just dealing with this. It's the contract that they give me and the offer that they gave me was just disgusting.
Rodney Jones, aka Lil Rod, is going all in, taking Diddy to court despite the high costs. For the past 6 months, he has tried unsuccessfully to reach a compromise with Diddy. Diddy appears to have ignored Rod, leaving him feeling stranded. Rod isn't holding back either. He's laid it all out in a massive 79-page lawsuit detailing his interactions with Diddy. He's been to Diddy's posh clubs in LA and Miami, partied on his yacht, and was practically on call 24/7 to record everything. And Rod has hours of footage showing Diddy and his crew engaging in some seriously questionable activities. Then there's the Hollywood-level drama, like that tense day on September 12th, 2022, in a recording studio with Diddy, his son Justin, and a guy named G. Shots were fired, resulting in someone bleeding on the floor just feet away from Rod. The incident has left Diddy completely shaken, but Rod's and Cassie's lawsuits are only the beginning of his problems. The feds have been raiding his properties in Los Angeles and Miami, setting up scenes straight out of a blockbuster film, all as part of a major investigation. Cassie was the first to blow the whistle on Diddy, triggering this significant chain of events. Imagine helicopters buzzing overhead and federal agents swarming. It's a full-fledged Hollywood action scene right outside Diddy's Los Angeles mansion. They even picked up Diddy's sons, Justin and King, right outside their luxurious Holmby Hills home. Meanwhile, Diddy was present during a raid at his Miami home, but agents were able to seize his phones before he fled to the Caribbean. There is serious discussion about how they are questioning people connected to alleged crimes, and they're not going to stop. More interviews are scheduled.
Then the video shows Diddy's son Christian with his hands in the air, pressed against the wall, then handcuffed. Diddy's son Justin then appears with his hands on his head. The agents then appear to take him down a hallway. The release clip ends with what appears to be another man who is dragged out of the home and on the driveway by agents.
Homeland Security Investigations is deeply committed to solving this case, working with local law enforcement to find out the truth. However, Diddy has remained silent throughout the ordeal. Douglas Wigdor, Cassie's lawyer, fully supports law enforcement efforts to bring Diddy to justice. Tyrone Blackburn, who represents a couple of the accusers, stated that it is time for Diddy to face the music. However, it is unclear whether this raid is directly related to the recent lawsuits filed against Diddy. One thing is certain, Diddy is bracing for a storm that extends beyond the lawsuits. Cassie made serious allegations against Diddy in November, accusing him of some pretty bad things. She wasn't alone. 2 more women shared their awful stories during Thanksgiving week. Diddy strongly rejects the accusations, but the pressure is growing. He has even stepped down from his position at Revolt TV, and several companies have begun to distance themselves from him. It appears Diddy is in for a rough ride, and his son may also be caught up in the storm, inheriting some of the troublemaking traits. Diddy's son, Christian Combs, is currently facing serious allegations. He is accused of inappropriately touching a woman named Grayson Marquet on a yacht trip organized by Diddy. What was intended as a family-friendly event allegedly turned into a wild party, setting a dark tone just before Diddy's big New Year's Eve celebration. The lawsuit filed in Los Angeles accuses Christian of multiple things. Diddy is also being sued for premises liability and allegedly helping and assisting his son in the violence, so he is not getting off easy. However, Diddy's legal team is fighting back hard. They have called the lawsuit inappropriate and meritless, declaring to have it dismissed in court.
Today, Christian Combs, son of rapper Sean Diddy Combs, is accused of a woman on his father's yacht. The claims were detailed in a new lawsuit that was filed in Los Angeles. Both men are named in the suit, but only Christian Combs is accused of assault.
Meanwhile, Tyrone Blackburn, the accuser's attorney, has highlighted a troubling pattern that appears to link Christian's alleged behavior to his father's previous actions. Grayson's accusations are serious. She claims Christian medicated and harmed her, and she reportedly has audio recordings to back up her claims. According to her, the atmosphere on the yacht was chaotic, with suspected sexual workers, celebrities, and common use of drugs far from the intended family-friendly outing. Grace suspected the drinks had been spiked, and the situation quickly escalated after Christian arrived at the party. Already intoxicated, he began pressuring her to take shots with him. Grace claims that after she hesitantly agreed, things quickly spiraled out of control, with Christian becoming overly involved. The lawsuit contains some chilling audio recordings, including Grace repeatedly saying no to more alcohol, urging Christian to back off, and what appears to be kissing noises in the background. Jones, a producer who is also suing Diddy, recorded the audio, adding another layer to the troubling situation. He claims to have hours of footage of Diddy and his crew engaging in questionable behavior. NBC News was able to obtain some footage from that night, though the identities of those captured have yet to be confirmed. In one clip, Grace tells Christian to keep his hands off her legs while he asks her to stay. Grace attempted to flee the situation by bringing him to the yacht cinema, hoping for some privacy, but claims he held her there and attempted to force himself on her. Photos of cuts on Grace's arm, which she claims were caused by Christian taking her, add to the story. She claims she only managed to keep him off when someone else entered the room. Grace's life is said to have fallen fallen apart since the alleged incident. Grace's hardship did not end with the alleged violence. When she reported the incident, she received an overwhelming feeling of disbelief and dismissal, which caused her trauma. She lost her job and has struggled with severe mental and physical health issues since, including anxiety, panic attacks, an eating disorder, and seizures. She is now pursuing justice in court, with her lawyers praising her bravery and hoping that her story will inspire others to come forward. Meanwhile, Christian's father, Sean Combs, becomes involved in his own legal battles after multiple women accuse him of similar things. The situation got worse last month when Homeland Security raided Diddy's homes, seizing guns and phones as part of a larger investigation. This real-life drama is playing out in front of the public, and everyone is curious about what will happen next. Diddy's lawyer continues to maintain his innocence, emphasizing that he should be presumed innocent until proven guilty. But the accusations do not end with Diddy. Believe it or not, the controversy has the potential to bring even more high-profile names into the battle. There are reports that Kris Jenner's boyfriend, Corey Gamble, may also be involved in some questionable activities. Given the Kardashians' close relationship with Diddy, this theory isn't as outlandish as it may appear, adding yet another layer of complexity to an already packed situation. Just 24 hours before their home was raided, Kim Kardashian was friends with Diddy, adding to the ongoing drama. The Kardashians have long been associated with some controversial figures, but what if the most questionable one is closer than we realize? Picture this. Corey Gamble is relaxing in his pink satin pajamas, seemingly carefree. It may seem unlikely, but he could be more than just Kris Jenner's arm candy. Some believe it's all strategic. While many people see Corey as a fixture alongside Kris, what if he's actually an anchor in deeper, darker connections within the music industry? Rumors circulate that Corey's connections go beyond Diddy, reaching deep into the shadowy depths of the music industry and even connecting with figures such as Justin Bieber. And here's where it gets thicker. Corey was especially close to Diddy's ex, Kim Porter, and was present during the tragic events surrounding her. Kanye West's previous rant, in which he suggested Corey was CIA, added to the suspicion, a comment that appeared outrageous but may have highlighted deeper yet to be understood connections to influential circles. With Corey's long history of slipping under the radar in the celebrity world now coming into focus amidst all of this, it's enough to make anyone stop and wonder what's really going on behind the scenes.
That's not some paranoid. Yes, Corey's CIA. Like, he didn't even have to say it. I know it.
Stay tuned for more juicy updates. While it's difficult to predict what surprises await, one thing is certain, this saga will be a roller coaster ride. Diddy and his entourage are in for a rough time, with lawsuits piling up, federal raids, and accusations coming from all directions. The drama surrounding Diddy and his son Christian might exceed any Hollywood script, from scandalous yacht parties to serious accusations of misconduct. The constant spotlight on the Combs family reveals the harsher realities that lie beneath the celebrity world. As this real-life drama unfolds, it serves as an important reminder of what is frequently hidden beneath the glitz and glamour, whether in courtrooms or in the public eye. The truth, whatever it may be, is bound to emerge at some point. As the world watches, each new revelation adds another layer to this complex story. We're all hoping for justice, healing, and eventually peace after the storm. So, what are your thoughts on all of this unfolding drama? Is everything true, or is there more to this story than meets the eye? Did Diddy really force Usher and Justin Bieber into situations they were unprepared for, or were these simply stepping stones on their path to fame? What are your thoughts on the allegations surrounding the Combs family and their close connections? Please let us know your thoughts on this story, which is both complex and captivating.